Bible. I'm joined by two special guests this time. My two cousins, Zion and Gospel. And my dad's here too.
Yeah, I'm here too. And the dugout is full today, so we're crammed in here on the bench. But we're gonna have some fun with two of my favorite nephews here. Okay, so we have Gospel, who is going to be either a preacher somewhere, he's going to be on a TV screen, he's going to be something. He's got all kinds of gifts and talents, singer, actor, all of those things. And then we have Zion, who is okay at baseball. He's a stud at baseball. And
that's why I like it.
That's right. And so he's 9, playing with the big boys and showing them what's up, right? So they're here to give us some opinions and some thoughts on some certain topics, and give us a little feedback into our next guest that's coming up later in this episode, right? So,
Right.
Okay, so lead the way, Riker.
I'm
going to ask him some questions, right?
This is my going forward. When we have these guests, it's gonna be primarily just me from here on. So I need to practice my commentary and skills.
Your interview skills.
My interview skills.
So you're going to practice on Gospel and Zion.
So these two are my guinea pigs. So I have
more like big dogs than guinea pigs. But.
Okay, that's debatable.
Big dogs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
If you want to use the pig part, we're gonna be werewolves. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
First off, let me just say this too before we go any further. It took everything in me to allow this jersey to be sitting
that's
here
disgusting.
in the dugout.
That's
It
atrocious.
is-
But then I asked him, when's the last time he washed this?
It's a fair question. It's a fair question.
He doesn't wear it.
But it's better than this. But anyway, go ahead. Proceed.
So question number 1. What are y'all's favorite walk-up songs?
God Taught Me by Zonti.
Okay, and then to give you some background on Gospel's pick, he's the DJ of walk-up songs for his baseball team. So
He's apparently gets tips and everything. He's such a good DJ for the games, right?
apparently he got tips.
And hold on, what song did you pick?
God
God
Taught Me.
Is that your
By
walk-up
Zonti.
song?
It is.
I know the answer to this, but yes.
But
It's a great song.
He has a bias.
All right, so that's your favorite walk-up song, Gospel, and your expertise. What's your favorite walk-up song?
I actually have a lot of favorite songs.
So-
It's kind of hard. So, I also like a lot of artists. So, I'll probably go with I'll go with Andy Mineo. And one of my favorite songs is "Okay, We Back."
Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
Does it get you hyped? Is that what's good about it, or what?
It's kind of jazzy and kind of smooth.
Okay.
But I like a lot of hype songs and a lot of smooth songs.
I was telling somebody the other day, would you two agree that if you are at a baseball game over the weekend, or if you're just sitting there and you're listening to the other games going around, who's the number one? I mean, he's like the king of all walk-up songs right now.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere now.
Who would you pick? You would say, like, I'm listening to, even my team, like, most of the songs that are by this artist. Who would you think is that right now? I say it's Forrest Frank. That's what I was
Forrest
saying.
Frank, yeah,
Because
he's
those
You can't go a weekend without hearing Lemonade or.
I feel like every other song when we're out there, it's like
It's just Forrest Frank.
Yeah.
Forrest Frank.
we're gonna do an episode coming up on just walk-up songs, so we'll have to have you guys back for that to talk about it, because there's some awesome ones in the MLB too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, if you heard
Ohtani.
Shohei's or Freddie Freeman's is pretty cool. Got to hear that a lot during the World Series. So, so you're going Andy Mineo, or what was the other song? The song that you picked? You already forgot?
It was
Oh,
Andy
it's
Mineo.
The one that was jazzy.
Okay, back. Okay, we back.
Okay, we're back.
the song.
By who?
Andy Mineo.
Andy Mineo.
That's what
Oh,
he said.
okay, look it up. All right, question number 2.
Question number 2. What are y'all's favorite Bible verses? And Dad, be prepared to grab out the phone on this one.
Favorite Bible verses. Gospel, you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, it's Romans 7:5.
Romans 7:5 or Galatians 6:8.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because we talked about it. That's all right. We did some prep work. Galatians 6:8. So do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it? Okay.
I'll read it.
Read Romans 7:5 too, though, because that is heavy on Gospel's heart tonight. So Romans 7:5, but Galatians 6:8.
Whoever sows to please their flesh from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit from the Spirit will reap eternal life.
Awesome. Why is that your favorite verse? What stands out to you on that one?
Because of like what it says, like if we choose to do bad, we'll just end up in a bad place. But if we keep going and try hard enough, we'll make it to the finish line, and which is forever in heaven.
We like to call it home plate here. We don't call it the finish line. We call it home plate because
Home plate.
All right, that's awesome. Z,
Mine is Philippians 4:13.
you gonna say it?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And my favorite part about that verse is because everybody always gets down on themselves, and you shouldn't get down on yourself because that'll discourage you, and you shouldn't do that, and that'll ruin your career.
Especially in baseball, right? Because
Yeah.
you're gonna mess up a lot in baseball. It's the name of the game.
right, it's set up for failure.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Questions 1 and 2 were easy.
This is gonna be a doozy.
Riker's gonna ask you the hard-hitting questions that he's known for.
What are y'all's most unathletic moments?
Okay, Zion.
I like to go last.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm the host, but can I say one? This is-
Sure, if you want to. Nobody even asked you. If you want to share it, go
well,
ahead.
I have one on my mind.
Okay.
It was a scrimmage, so it wasn't like high stakes game. But I was already having a rough night. It's pop fly, goes foul, was right there, and I tripped on my shoelace, fell flat on my back, and the ball lands on my back. Just to put salt in the wound. I already tripped, fell, knew I missed the ball, and then 2 seconds later, the ball just hits me in the middle of the back.
I remember that one. That was pretty bad.
That was.
You were playing pitcher, actually.
I was.
And you came off the mound to catch it, and you tripped,
And
fell on your face, and the
felt
ball
like
hit
Bambi.
you. The ball hit
Felt
you
like
in the
Bambi.
back. It was pretty bad. So there you go. So that's a good one.
That's a good tee off right there.
All right. Who wants to go? You said Z wants to go last, so Gospel.
It's all right. I'll go.
He has a
Okay.
banger.
So on my first tournament and first game of kid pitch, I got up to bat.
Oh,
The
no.
ball was coming towards me. I was in my position, and I swung my foot open. Came smack right down there.
Oh, the jingle bells. Okay. The jingle bells. Oh my gosh.
So
We might be able to gather some footage of that.
hopefully we can gather some footage of that. We can try. What was your reaction in the moment? Did you
I was
fall to
confused.
your? You were hurting, embarrassed.
I wasn't hurting. I was like,
Everything was
what
broken.
do I do?
Everything was broken, pride included.
That's pretty good.
That's amazing.
What was the reaction of the people watching? Did they?
They're like, what? They were like all yelling at that point.
Did he just get
Were they laughing as well?
I would
Yeah,
be
they were
dying.
mostly laughing.
Was your dad laughing?
My dad was saying, "Come on, get
Go
to
to
first."
first. Take
I'm
your
like,
base.
I don't want to. I'm still hitting,
I'm in pain.
so I didn't know.
Okay.
It's like,
That's a good one. That's an embarrassing one.
that's amazing.
My turn? Okay. Wow, I had so many great moments. I can't think of any of them.
Oh, please.
That's part of your acting skills right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
What you
guys.
got?
Yeah,
a
all right.
lot.
He just admitted he got hit in the area.
Yeah.
You can admit what you gotta say.
Honestly-
the days of playing soccer, baseball.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you played soccer.
Yeah, he was great at soccer.
forgot you.
I don't know. I don't.
Nothing? You're gonna
You're
take
not-
a pass on this?
Oh gosh.
Z, is there anything that comes to mind? Since he's not saying, is there anything that comes to mind for you that says?
Yeah, but I think he wants to keep some tips.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
That's a good brother right there. Okay.
That's a good brother.
We'll let him slide.
Keeping
We'll
his
let him
secrets.
slide.
Next time if you come on, I'm gonna ask you this question again, and you better come prepared.
Okay.
All right. Well, Riker is getting ready to talk with your dad. And he's going to have your dad, share his baseball journey.
Journey, testimony.
Any tips that you guys can give him as he gets ready to interview your dad? Anything you can say, my dad, don't ask him this, don't say that.
He's in the room, so be careful what you say.
So nothing. He's just go up there and ask him whatever you want to ask him.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Well, before we go,
Yeah.
obviously Mom got off easy, kinda, but we're gonna get from here on out, whoever comes on our podcast, our guests, we're gonna do a quick hand coordination drill. It's very simple. Can we explain
Just get up and do it.
All right, so the goal, catch all the falling things from the sky, if that makes sense. So, let me.
Let's play sports together.
All right.
Working on our hand-eye coordination here.
Throw them in the deep end, get them hard.
3, 2, 1, go.
Perfect score, baby. Perfect score. All 6, hard mode. Let's go. I want to see y'all try to beat that, boys.
All right.
Hard mode.
Hard mode.
It's as fast as it'll go.
It's as fast as it will go.
All right. Gospel's going next.
Let's go.
You get to examine.
Put it on slow mode for him.
He might need it. He might need it.
Put it on turtle mode.
Turtle mode.
Turtle.
All right.
Oh my gosh. I'm praying the mic caught that one.
Back up a little bit, Gospel. Get closer to the cooler there. I want everybody to be able to see you.
In your ugly jersey in the process.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh no. He's falling apart.
Oh.
3. He
He had more, but he dropped them.
I did.
Would you want to qualify that as your most embarrassing athletic moment of all time?
Yeah, well, we just added one to the list.
All right, Z.
Z.
Shoot.
Let's go here. It's not. I'd say you can't do much worse than 3. Else.
This guy plays
What are you
baseball,
doing
so if
here?
he's better than me,
All right, back up, Z. Back up, Z. You gotta get closer to the
Humble
cooler.
pie might be a little necessary. He's so short he'll fall on the camera.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Show them how it's done.
Show him how it's
3,
done.
2,
Why is it?
1, go.
Oh shoot.
Oh, shoot. Line. No!
That's hard. I can't
Oh, 3.
You just. Well,
It's actually harder than I thought it would
I
be.
just schooled both of you.
3,
Oh,
2, 1,
just kidding.
go. Welcome to you next time.
All right, Riker. Send us to the next interview.
Well, it's been fun. We're gonna go to interview with Tony. See you there. Hand it off to you, Riker. Thank you, Riker. And I am joined by my uncle Tony. He is the father of the 2 boys you just saw. And I've heard a lot of stories of your baseball career and just how in love you were with the sport. Like, what began that love with baseball? What began that passion?
Well, first and foremost, Riker, thank you for having me on your podcast. I've been watching them and I'm thoroughly enjoying them. They've been great.
Thank you.
So, so my love for baseball started at a young age. It was the first and the only sport that my mom introduced me to. So right away, I took a liking to baseball. I didn't really grow up having a dad or a father figure, so I was that kid who was always outside wishing somebody would come through that back door to play catch with me, to throw a baseball to me, to hit a ground ball to me, but I never really had it. But through that, it taught me to really appreciate the game from a different level, because again, nobody taught me how to play the game. And so what I would end up doing when I was younger is I would go in my house, go through mom's pantry, grab some rice, grab some seeds, grab some peas, whatever I could, and I would throw those up and I would just hit them one at a time. And I knew that if I could hit something that small, that I could definitely hit a baseball. And so there were many things like that for me growing up that really taught me the game, self-taught. And so really there should be no excuse for kids your age that can't train, can't go outside, and can't better themselves at the game of baseball. I did not grow up knowing Jesus. I didn't grow up in church, anything like that. But 100% because he loves me, even though I didn't know him at the time. He used baseball as a way to grab a hold of me eventually later on in my life.
Okay.
And so baseball, again, I fell in love with, had always loved it. I was never the greatest kid at playing the sport. I was kind of short, chunky. I liked sitting down watching TV, eating potato chips, which is not very good for the athlete.
Don't I know it?
Come on, somebody. So, but again, I watched baseball. I grew up in South Florida, so the Florida Marlins was my jam. I watched baseball like crazy. I got represented my Miami shirt. They were Florida Marlins back then. But again, what kept me enjoying the game of baseball was honestly what I did outside of my organized practices and getting better, wanting to know the game, and just the thought of hitting a game-winning home run, the thought of making a game-winning play. And so throughout rec ball, because we didn't have select ball like you guys have now, where you're playing every weekend. We played once or twice a week, and really that was it. So for me, I thoroughly enjoyed practices. I enjoyed being in my backyard, learning the game, acting like I was Benito Santiago, acting like I was Gary Sheffield or somebody great on the Marlins roster. But also because I didn't really have that father figure present in my life, it drove me to do some not so great things. And I remember when I was in senior league, one of the biggest games that everybody came to in the neighborhood, all the parents, everybody thoroughly enjoyed going to watch. I wasn't able to make it because I was in jail, and I was probably your age, 11 years old, 12 years old, and so I made a lot of poor decisions, hung around with not so wise kids my age, but again, I felt like the Lord, even though I didn't know him, utilized that and used it to make me not do so many bad things, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so by the time I got to high school, freshman, I was a 4-year varsity starter. I was all-state. I also played for a national team called the Florida Pokers, which at that time, then we started doing select ball. And I was, out of high school, I was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. So I was a perfect 10 grade by perfect game back then. So perfect game now is for all ages, but back then it was just for high school. But I was a perfect 10 grade, projected to go in the top 10 of the 2003 draft. But I was in jail again for doing some dumb things. And back then they had something called a draft and follow. They don't have that now, but basically they give it to certain players where they pay for you to go to junior college for a year, as long as you can put up the numbers and for me, stay out of trouble. They'll give you the sign-in bonus that you wanted for a top 10 draft pick. I mean, it's pretty lucrative. It's pretty good. And I was able at that time to play with some really talented players that you may know. Prince Fielder, Justin Upton, BJ Upton, Jared Saltalamacchia, here, Texas, Mike Napoli. So we were all kind of in that elite group for national players, which was really cool. So I got, again, drafted by the Atlanta Braves. They gave me a draft and follow, and I went to JUCO for 1 year. And in JUCO, I was able to put up, which is junior college, by the way. I was able to put up the numbers, but I couldn't stay out of trouble. And so, in talking to my agent and talking to certain people that were affiliated with the Braves program, they were still going to give me something to be a part of the Braves organization, but it wasn't top 10 draft pick money. But my whole family was saying, just go, get out of here, take the deal. And I was going to take the deal, and I decided to go to a nightclub to celebrate prematurely. So this is a Friday night. I'm supposed to meet with them and sign, and you got to go through a physical, a little evaluation before you sign. And I ended up getting into a knucklehead move. I got into a fight, and what I ended up doing is I tore ligaments and tendons in my elbow. And the very next morning, we took the drive, and I tried to lie to them and say I slammed my arm into a door and I can't pass the physical, but they already knew, coming from my background and some of the things that I was doing and involved with. They released me right on the spot. And so I took a year off. I actually wasn't going to play baseball again, and I got a phone call from JUCO. So JUCO, you can play 2 years. So I played my one season when I was drafted. I went back for a year and a half later, hadn't picked up a baseball, hadn't done anything. The coach called me and said, hey, Portugal, we want you to come out, just do a workout. I said, I haven't picked up a baseball in over a year. They said, just come out, throw a baseball, and then let's talk. So I went over there. I never threw the baseball, never got to do anything, and they just signed me on the spot. And I ended up finishing that season the National Fireman of the Year for best relief pitcher in the nation. And I had people that were calling, colleges that were calling, and for me, I fell out of love with baseball, and it just was no longer a passion or a desire for me to play. And at that moment, I stopped playing baseball. Again, through high school, even college, I coached for some great organizations, Diamond Club USA, Rich Lupino's United Sports Academy. So I was always affiliated with baseball, and I loved the coaching, playing aspect. But when I was no longer a player, it's like, I don't want to coach anymore. And I never ever thought actually I would coach again until Zion started playing. And when he started playing and falling in love with the sport, my love and my desire to coach again started coming back. And now here I am with you, and my journey continues.
Wow. So I have a couple questions. One being, so you're going to be featured on our physical winter training. Did you have like your own little makeshift just footwork drills, or did you not have that?
Growing up?
Yeah, like how did you make those yourself? Because I know you didn't obviously have like step ladders.
So that's a great question. So again, for me, I didn't have the dad to throw in the backyard, but even though my desire was for him to come outside, he never did. But I loved the game, and so actually behind my shed, I took an old fence gate and I put it vertical, and I used that as a way to hit into the fence. And I had this old rubber piping. I would use that as a tee. I would use rocks, like I said earlier. I would use rice, peas, seeds. I would hit those, and I lived on a lake, so every day I'm just hitting into the lake. And I also had a little foam sponge ball, kind of like a sock. And I always wanted to hit for power. Chicks dig the long ball. You know what I mean? And so I always wanted to hit for power. So I would get this little flag, and I would throw the little sponge ball up, and I would hit it, and then I put the flag right there. And every day for me, I knew from my barometer was if I'm getting stronger and more powerful, is that ball was going to go farther and farther and farther. I think again for your age group, there's a lot of excuses. I know you train at home, right? Hopefully,
Yes.
And you
Yeah, I
train,
do.
You do, and hopefully you train even though sometimes your dad's not available, or maybe he's working, or do you always wait for him?
I mean, most of the time he'll tell me just go into the cage in the backyard and hit. If not, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. So for me, there was now I know there's really no excuse for a player to get better, because there's so much that you can do and so much that the game provides as far as footwork drills, and I guess we'll get into some of those and what that looks like to get better. And the great thing about baseball is you don't necessarily have to have a partner to get better. You just have to have a desire to do it and be disciplined to actually execute what you're trying to accomplish.
I like that. That's cool. Can we quote that? Like put that? Can we put that on a poster or something? That's cool. Yeah. So you've played with a lot of studs, a lot of big names. Do you have I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this or not, but do you have a favorite out of those studs? Just all around cool to be with, great at the game.
No, honestly, nobody that. My favorite baseball player growing up was Benito Santiago.
Okay.
Florida Marlins catcher, threw from his knees, but nobody that I've really played with who made it big time. Really stood out to me. Obviously, they were great players, but nothing necessarily.
Personality.
More so because they were probably my competition.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say, oh, he's so much better than me, he's so much better. I like. So it was just, I'm the dog, I'm the man. You look good, but I'm gonna be better. So I guess that was my mentality.
So it wasn't like, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like shaking hands, like hanging out after.
That was a little bit of that,
Okay.
and a little bit of I'm better than you type thing.
Okay, so it was like a love-hate relationship kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Okay. That's great. So yeah, what point did you encounter and meet and come to Jesus?
And that's my favorite question. And so, in between me not playing the game anymore, again, the Lord used baseball as a way to grab a hold of me and to get my attention. And when I was no longer a part of the game, literally my world started falling apart. I had nothing. I was actually homeless at the time. Had no place to go. My mom was living in another city further up north, and I went to go do something to somebody that was not very good. And I went back to my grandparents' house again because I had nowhere to live. I went back to my grandparents' house, and I tried to end my life, and in not such a great way. And for the first time in my life, so I didn't grow up in church, didn't know Jesus, but it was my grandparents, the one that always, Jesus this, Jesus that, and I was always like, man, I don't care about your Jesus. But I'm thankful for those seeds that my grandparents planted in my life, because when I had nowhere else to go, and sitting alone in my grandparents' bathroom, completely broken, the only person that I could call out to was the one and the name that my grandparents held as the savior of their life, which was Jesus. And for the first time in my life, sitting alone in their bathroom, I cried out and I said, Jesus, if you're real, I need you to help me. And I knew, because of growing up in the street and having a certain mentality, that if you're going to do something that you want and you desire, you're going to give 100% to it, even if it's bad. Again, because I didn't know the Lord. So I knew at that moment that if I was going to find out whether Jesus was real, I was going to put all my eggs in one basket, and I was going to find out whether this Jesus was real or not. And a lot of amazing things started happening. I opened up this beautiful love letter from the Lord, the Bible, and I started reading it, and you know what happened?
What?
I had no idea what it was saying.
I was expecting like a deep, like, it was in this moment I realized it was 100% real. No, it was like, I had no clue what it was saying at all.
At all. But the Lord had me in a perfect place, because I had nobody to rely on except Him. And I started reading and continued to read, and I started writing down every question that I had in the Bible that I would come across, even if I didn't understand it. I mean, what does this mean? I need to know this. And it was just me and the Lord. Again, I wasn't in church. I wasn't doing anything. I was just reading the Bible. And in 2008, they had this big revival going on in South Florida at Trinity Church International, and it was June 12th, which is my birthday. I called my mom, and I'm like, hey mom, it's my birthday. Well, what are we doing today? And she's like, we're going to church. And I'm like, okay, going to church. And so we end up going, and this church it's a mega church. It's monstrous. There's thousands of people there. We sat on the top floor, and this night there was no AC, so everybody's waiting. It was extremely hot. It was crowded. There was nowhere to sit. But there was this gentleman by the name of Bishop Tony Miller, and he preached a gospel that absolutely wrecked me and arrested my heart that night. And a lot of things began to change. And I needed to know more about this Jesus. I went back to where I was staying, because now I had a place where I was actually living with one of my cousins. And I had 5 questions for God. And I said, God, if you can answer these 5 questions, I'll spend the rest of my life serving you and preaching the gospel. But you have to answer these 5 questions. And it was a series of questions I've never told anybody about. Nobody even knows them. But it was just different things that happened in my life that I absolutely needed to know the answers to. I said, God, I have 5 questions. And so while this revival service was going on, I'm asking God, I got five questions for you. If you can answer these 5 questions, I'll spend the rest of my life serving you and preaching the gospel. July 15th, 2008, nothing happened. July 16th, 2008, nothing happened. And I started going to these revival services every morning and every evening. And Pastor Dr. David Remedios was on the other side of the building. He comes running over. He picks me up off of the floor. He says a couple things. He looks at me and he kind of laughs. Like you could see the joy of the Lord all over him. And if you ever hear the phrase, like if you look at somebody and they have something that you want, it's like he had something that I wanted. He had so much joy on his life. And he looks at me and he laughs and he looks at me again. He said, God told me to tell you this. In verbatim, word for word, he says the 5 questions. He looks at me again, turns to the side, he laughs. He looks at me again, and he says, here's the answers. And he answers all 5 of those questions that nobody in the world could have known. But he says it verbatim. He gives me the answers. July 17, 2008, I laid my life down and I went running hard after Jesus.
Oh my gosh. I think we have, so because you're our guest today, I want to ask you, what is your favorite verse? And then we'll read off it, and that'll be our verse.
Okay, awesome. So I've got a ton of verses. I'm sure everybody says that. But I think the one that stands out to me the most right now, as a coach, as a father, as my kiddos all playing sports, is Hebrews 12:2. And that's to fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And you've heard this a lot, and I've heard it from pastors, and I've also said it to Zion a million times. But if all I ever do is teach you to keep your eye on the ball, but never to fix your eyes on Jesus, then I have failed you as a father. And so our priority is Jesus first, knowing Him, loving Him, and allowing Holy Spirit to shape us and mold us into the likeness of Jesus and go into the world and to preach the gospel. Hebrews 12, verse 2. Let's fix our eyes on Jesus.
Well, this has been a very fun and interesting episode. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. I mean, it would be one thing if we invite you, but you didn't come. So thank you for coming on our podcast. Cannot wait to see you in our upcoming episodes for winter training. And I'm sure after this story, they can't wait either. So we'll pray. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for Tony's testimony and for bringing him to where he is today. Lord, I pray that even though it might not be as powerful when we speak in tongues, Lord, breaking on the verge of breaking, Lord, I just pray that you would start planting little seeds in our lives, Lord, just like how Tony's grandparents did. I just pray that you would be in the whisper in the wind. You would be with us through everything. I pray that the viewer would just know that and be comforted by that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
This has been Baseball in the Bible. See you next time.
See you next time.